Hello folks, welcome to another video. I hope this one finds you well. We have a first impressions video for you today featuring the aircraft on thy screen, the Cessna Citation Mustang by the developer known as Cockspur. Cockspur. What is a Cockspur? Just quietly? Is it like a bone spur, but for your old fella? I don't know. We might find out en route, folks. But really, the purpose of today's flight is to have a look at this aircraft. This will be a genuine first impressions. I have not flown this aircraft previously, so I ask for your forgiveness in advance. We begin our journey today in, well, a post-apocalyptic Las Vegas, Nevada. Have a look at it. She's a bit desolate out here, and we're kind of replicating in a way a video that I watched the other day that popped up on the feed for who knows what reason. That a guy did flying a Mustang from here to our destination today. So I'll just fire up a little nav map and show you what the flight plan is, and then we'll jump inside and see what this aircraft has to offer. So this is the flight plan today, folks. Las Vegas, Nevada, or what we all affectionately know as Lost Wages, Nevada, down to a little place you might have heard of called Scottsdale, Arizona. Short journey, 200 odd miles, a bit over 200 miles, down via some airways and some waypoints and all that piloty stuff. Looks like we're going to be heading over the Drake VOR, and then down into Scottsdale we'll fly and approach. Probably a visual will be the plan. Yeah, won't be a long video, folks, but a genuine first impression if you're thinking about getting this aircraft. I do love me some bizjet action in the sim, and this one copped an update a couple of weeks ago, I want to say, and saw a couple of videos on it. Had my doubts, and I thought, what better way to alleviate those doubts but to actually get the aircraft and explore it for yourself, old man? So that's what I've done. Folks, let's jump on board. So welcome on board, folks. I do have company for today's flight. I've got my little friend up front. Can't remember his name. You won't forget his face, though. Look at that. Face only a mother could love. A bit like yours truly. And I do have some company down the back. If I can... Doesn't she look happy? We'll call her Gwendolyn. Now, you've got to say her name, the full name, Gwendolyn. She's not a Gwendolyn, call me Gwen. She's a Gwendolyn. She looks happy. Perhaps she works for the house in Las Vegas. Perhaps her father owns the house, and that's why she's flying private today. I don't know, folks. Back up front. Here we are in the VC, and it's... looks all right, I think. Anyway, I mentioned earlier I've got some doubts about this aircraft, and getting us to this point in the video, some of my doubts have kind of been confirmed as well. Now, in a genuine first impressions video from a guy who's never flown this aeroplane before in any sim, has watched a couple of videos. In fact, I've watched more real-life videos than sim videos on this aircraft. You've got to take my first impressions with a grain of salt, because I actually don't know what I'm doing. I'm happy to call that out. There's some stuff here that's kind of a little bit... Now, what I've got at the moment is we're running off batteries at the moment to get the avionics fired up, right? So it's a G1000 NXI, all sweet, that's fine. What I've had trouble with is actually getting the flight plan sorted, in that this keypad down here, if I can just jump down here, the keypad here doesn't seem to work. So I've had to kind of do it a different way. I was going to manually put my flight plan in here. What I've done is actually exit out of the sim, generate a flight plan, a little nav map, export it out of little nav map, and then import it when you're setting up the main menu, and then that's what you get. And I've added a procedure via the dials. So this keypad down here doesn't seem to work. Am I missing something? I don't know. The documentation for the aircraft doesn't cover this at all. And what I realised in that the videos that I've been watching, the simulated videos that I've been watching, are for an old version of the aircraft, and no one plugged a flight plan in. They all just went for a fly without anything plugged into the box. I'm thinking, I wonder if that's because this doesn't work. So just bear that in mind, folks. But we've got a flight plan in. Going to depart runway 08 left here in Vegas and fly a SID and then head down. I'll get the engine started, which I think's pretty easy, or easy enough anyway. Don't know what's going on with my landing lights. I can't seem to control them. I think that's an issue with my hardware, though. Can't blame the developer for that one, I don't think. I think what we need to do is kind of hit start and stuff happens. Right? There is some stuff happening. It feels a little too easy to me. In other videos, guys have had to move the... Can I move my throttles? I can. Oh, they move very, very slowly. Anyway, we're generating... We've got some N2 happening. We've got some ITT growing. N1's growing. It's now reducing. Yeah, not sure what's happening there. And probably should have closed the cabin door as well. If I just hit the left engine and then I sort of jump... How am I going to do this? Hang on. I'll jump back in, close the door. We should have done that. Gwendolyn, you could have done that for me. I know you're used to having everything done for you, but... You know. Door. Here's the dunny. Interesting place. I'll tell you what, you'd want to know your... You want to have a certain level of trust developed with the people you're travelling with in order to use this dunny, wouldn't you? Hey, Gwendolyn, just quietly, we don't have that trust. So if you can just stay seated there, happy as a pig in shit, just stay there for me, love. Alright, have we got engine start? I think we do. Righto. I think that was a little too easy. Probably need to put the gens on, like there. They can come on. We're good. What else do we need to worry about? We didn't have the ignition on, it started anyway. Of course it did. We'll get that on. We need oxygen. Pack safety. Gwendolyn, sit down. Can I go one more? There we go. Stall warning heater. What do I need to worry about? There. It's on. Don't worry about it. Where's Oxy? Air conditioning, we'll get that on for her. Push to restore the oxygen. I think we're pretty much right. Yeah, it started a little too easy and incorrectly, I think, for mine, but again, could be doing something wrong. It'll be one of 1,323 things that I make mistakes about on this flight, folks. Anyway, I'll find us out to runway 08 left. I won't bore you with that. We'll take off, head down to Scottsdale, have a bit of a chat en route with some thoughts, make a landing, video done. Now, I do accept I'm rather unfamiliar with the layout of Las Vegas International Airport, but I didn't exactly need an escort, and the carpets come with me as well. A literal flying carpet. That's because old mate here forgot to turn it off. Over here in the little tablet or the phone thing. So, the red carpet can come off, and does that get rid of the car? It does. We're right. We're lined up runway 08 left, folks. I feel like this video is just going to be a litany of errors. But anyway, you get it raw here on this channel, and if you go to Las Vegas, you get it raw in a different way. But that's for another story. Anyway, heading bugger lined. Barrow set. Flight level 230 we're going across. Looks like we're rotating at 95. Flaps are set. Takeoff, yeah. Trim is kind of neutral. I think everything's good. I'm getting these annunciations, but I really don't give a shit. I just want to get out of Vegas. Reminds me of when I did go to Vegas. Anyway, let's do it, folks. bring some power in. Alright, let's gun it. Takeoff power set. We're getting there. 92.4 is our target. Airspeed's alive. Knots, rotate at 95. Handles well enough on the ground. Rotate around about there. She wants to go. Positive rate and all that. No, felt alright. Takeoff. Accelerating up through 120 knots. Intercept, we're looking for an intercept point at about 3 miles, huh? Back into the climb detent, there it is. Pitch down a tad, get some speed happening. Just recycle that flight director, get Georgie doing some flying, get Georgie doing some navving. We'll go into a flight level change mode here momentarily. There we go. Plug up that speed. We're doing our nav hold, Georgie. I hope so, mate. We're waddling over the screen a tad, over the sky a little bit. We'll climb out at about 200 knots just because it's a number I picked out of my ass. Where's 200? There it is. The scroll wheel behaviour, you know, when you're dialing up your altitudes and speeds and all that sort of stuff's a little interesting. It takes a while. You want to bring a packed lunch if you're going to be climbing high into the flight levels. It takes a while to scroll this knob. You see, I'm getting older, but things do take longer when you get older. But yeah, there's something. I wish that was a bit quicker. Back into that heading sync mode, up through 200. So flight level change 200. We're navving. Climbing at 2,100 feet a minute. Take an external for you folks. You too can say farewell to the residents of Las Vegas, Nevada. Away we go. We're away. Heading to Scottsdale, Arizona. I'll join you for the cruise. Right, we continue our journey, continue our climb. This thing doesn't exactly climb like a homesick angel. We're doing about 1,200 feet a minute, climbing at VY, which is 200 apparently. I got a bit lucky there with my choice of number. Yeah, it's taken us a while to get up to cruise. It's only a short flight. Well, it's planned to be a short flight. The astute viewer amongst you may notice that distance to go here on takeoff was probably showing 400 and something miles. And if you're thinking, well, that doesn't really align with your little nav map plan, old man, which was 200 and change, have a look at the flight plan. It's taken me all over the place. One of the issues that I do have sometimes when I sort of export and then import a flight plan, and it kind of screws it up. So rest assured, folks, we're not going to do 351 nautical miles from here. We're going to, in fact, I'm going to deviate from the flight plan completely and just go direct Scottsdale, because I really don't have time to take the scenic route, as lovely as Arizona may be this time of the year. Maybe the only time that Arizona is tolerable in terms of weather this time of the year, is it? I don't know. Never been to Arizona. Shout out to you if you're far from there, and shout out to all of my American viewers. There's quite a few here on the channel. What else can I say about the aircraft? Yeah, climb performance isn't great, and this is not an issue with the rendition in the sim. It's not a particularly great performer IRL. But yeah, just something to note. Other issues, sort of gets a bit finicky with the detents for mine. I'm now in the climb detent. I was in the cruise detent for a long time. I thought I was in climb. I'm pretty sure I saw CLB appear on the display, but apparently it was in CRU, which obviously affects your climb performance. No audible sort of clicks for the detents. There probably isn't any audible flicks IRL. I don't know. I mean, it looks alright. It gives you that feeling, the VC, the way it's modelled, it gives you the feeling of a pretty confined space. It is. This is a VLJ, isn't it? The Mustang. Very light jet. Yeah, and the displays, the avionics are pretty good. The NXI now available, thanks to the folks at Working Title. I really should have done some research to check your name, mate. To me, you look like a buster. You've probably got some bloody fancy foreign name. I don't know. You're not pretty. That's yeah. You look a bit like a robber's dog. So you're well suited to flying with old mate here. How you doing down the back, Gwen? Good. Sorry, Gwendolyn. You all right? You're happy as Larry. You're just happy all the time, aren't you, Gwendolyn? You've probably got some, how do we say, pharmaceutical assistance, I reckon. Anyway, folks, I'll join you for an approach. We're going to go direct Scottsdale, shorten this flight. We are going to cruise. We are going to get to 23,000. I'll probably get there and then go direct Scottsdale and start a descent. That's how I feel today. Probably not doing the aircraft a hell of a lot of justice, but it's a genuine first impressions. That's how you get it here on the channel, folks. An old bloke purchasing an aircraft that he has some interest in. I love this jet, as I said. Recently been updated. I thought I might give it a whirl. Publish something to the channel. Maybe it'll help you do your due diligence with your simulation purchases. I don't know. I'm getting pretty tight with mine, just quietly. But anyway, that's what you get here on the channel, folks. 230 is coming up. We'll see you for an approach into Scottsdale, Arizona. On descent through flight level 140, heading down into Scottsdale. We've set ourselves up for a visual into runway 21 at Scottsdale. Guessing that the wind's going to favour a landing to the southwest. Come hell or high water, that's what we'll be doing, folks. So, didn't spend that long in the cruise. I ended up going direct Scottsdale pretty much as I got to cruise altitude to save a little bit of time. My first impression overall of the aircraft is that it's alright. As I've said a couple of times, and I'll say it again, it's because I can, and I've got your attention. I do like business jets, and so in terms of picking it up and exploring what this one does compared to the other ones that I have, it's been worthwhile. It's really been a curiosity exercise for me more than anything, and it's alright. I mean, it's not the worst aircraft in the sim. I've had better. Said every woman that's ever been with me. But that's another story. It's all right. I mean, it felt okay to hand fly the very limited bit of hand flying that I did earlier, and we'll have a little bit. I'll give Georgie a rest when we get to about 4,000 or so, and hand fly the approach. It felt okay to hand fly for what it's worth, but that's there's factors that come into that, including how you've got your controllers set up, and I've got no real point of reference for how this thing should fly, but it feels okay. The visual side of things is okay as well. It's all right. Will I feature it on another video on the channel? I don't know. Will I fly it again? Probably. If you're in the market for a really good business jet, you're probably going to have to wait a while for another developer to do one. Now, there's one that Mr. FS Reborn has in progress, a Phenom. Oh, love me some Phenom action. But that's going to take him a while. But based on his most recent release, that FSR 500 Piper thing. Oh, imagine what he's going to be able to do for a Phenom. But I think we could be waiting a while. Coronado have some jets, some biz jets in their catalogue, but how many of them make the transition across to this sim? Time will tell. Is there another developer out there that we don't know about that's working on a biz jet that'll do it justice? Maybe, I don't know. But at the moment, this is what we have in terms of the Citation Mustang. If you're interested, I've got no association with the developer. My opinion doesn't carry any more weight than yours, but it's all right, is what I would say. We are coming into Scottsdale, down through 7,000. We'll start slowing up shortly. I'll just check the flap speeds. What does that look like? It looks like it says 185 for our approach flap setting. It's all right. Get some landing lights kind of happening like that. And yeah, runway 21. I'll join you for the final stages, folks. Alright, just about to turn for home, folks. We're giving Georgie the rest of the day off. We're going to take first stage of flap. Here we're pretty much on the glide path, according to our instrumentation. There we go, I've got a strip somewhere over there. Probably don't want to hit those hills. We might do an early turn. I think I did see these hills on, and the pilot commented on these hills as he was flying in. It's amazing. That's what's so great about the simulator, is that you can watch real life videos of pilots doing their piloting thing, and then you can come in here and replicate it and have a visual representation, which was remarkably close to the real thing. Now we've cut our corner a little fine there. That's all right. An oblique final is what we'll call this. At this point, the guys in the tower are probably calling for the trucks to roll. Starting to get a little bit nervous. I am expecting my birds to chime in any moment. We'll take gear down. One stage of flap to come. We're getting slightly high, it would appear, on the glide, slowing ourselves down. Yeah, it hand flies quite well. It feels, to me, authentic is the word, based on my limited appreciation for what a VLJ should feel like. But I have flown a few in various sims over the years. We're getting a little low now. Get that final stage of flap coming in as we turn for home. Round about there. Alright, gears down, flaps are down, 3 reds, Scottsdale runway 21. What's our approach speed in this thing? Probably should have done something about plugging that in, or at least looking it up. I'm going to guess it's probably around about 100, give or take. What do you reckon? We'll plan for that anyway. N1's at 56%, doing 100 knots. Wind is straight down the strip, which helps. Very trim. Yeah, it feels good. Feels good to fly. I'm happy with that. So folks, yeah, just wrapping it up before we touch down. First impression overall is that it's alright. This has been a video of an aircraft. It hasn't been probably flying terribly well, but an old bloke who got an interest in these things and jumped on board, and yeah, don't know what I'm doing, but I'm enjoying myself, folks. I always enjoy myself. That's why I encourage you to do the same. All the reds, folks, down to 100 knots. Runway 21. Another desolate field, post-apocalyptic Arizona. Alright, can we make a decent fist of this touchdown? We go into idle. Yeah, we'll take that. No reverses or anything like that in the little Mustang. I keep it straight, fella. A little bit of braking might be required. There we go, folks. Now she comes to a stop pretty quickly. Folks, welcome to Scottsdale, Arizona. Thank you once again for your company on another flight. Your support is very much appreciated. Until we meet again, stay well, enjoy your simming, and bye for now.